Hello students, today we are going to discuss about frames. Frames, as you can see this window which is right there in front of you, this one window has been divided into three parts, right? This is the first part where it's written this is frame 1 and this is the second part and this one is the third part. Okay, so whenever you wish to divide a window into different sets like these three parts and you wish to load some pages in all those three sets, then you have to use frames. And now that you know what are frames, this is the definition of a frame. HTML frames are used to divide your browser window into multiple sections where each section can load a separate HTML document. A collection of frames in the browser window is known as a frame set. Alright, now for example, in this one, this is one frame set. Into this, we have divided into three frames. So this is first frame, this is second frame, and this is third frame, right? A window is divided into frames. In a similar way, the tables are organized into rows and columns. Okay. So for example, if you take a look at this one, these are three rows. So one frame set has been divided into three frames. Okay. And these are the three rows. Okay. Similarly, if you wish to divide it into columns, then these are the three columns. Okay. This is first frame, this is second frame, and this is the third frame. Okay. And you might be thinking that this is a very good idea that we have divided into three parts. Then definitely we can load three pages into this. So in one, for example, yahoo.com is working, in the second one, Gmail is working, in the third one, some other Twitter or some other site is working. So it can be done. But there are some disadvantages to this also. What are the disadvantages? Disadvantages, there are a few drawbacks with using frames. So it's never recommended to use frames in your web pages. So earlier they used to work on this and they thought that this is a very good idea. But later on it was found that this is a very heavy kind of a thing. So that's why they stopped using this. Now even some browsers, they don't support this. Alright. But since this was a good concept, that's why we're discussing. Okay. Let's see, first of all, some smaller devices, let's say the mobile phone or some tab or something, some smaller devices cannot cope with the frames because their screen is not big enough to be divided up. Okay, it is already small, so what will you do when you further divide it? Okay, it will be very, very small. So sometimes your page will display differently on different computers due to different screen resolution. Okay, so if there are different screen resolutions, so it might be if some resolution is less, then one page is too big or the one is too small, right? See the third point, the browser's back button might not work as the user hopes. Normally, the back button takes you to the previous screen. But when you have three screens open in one screen, then how it should behave? So that sometimes creates a problem. See the last point, there are still few browsers that do not support frame technology. Okay, so they have stopped using that. See here it's written, the frame tag is deprecated in HTML5. That means we don't use this element. Okay, but some of the browsers, they do support this. This is one example which he has given. As you can see from here, this is one page from here to here, right? And you can see that instead of body, we are using a frame set, right? You remember now? HTML tag, then head, then title, then headings. Now in place of body, we are using a frame set. Okay. Now see the very first line in here. Frame set rows is equal to 1080-10. Now what that means? 1080-10 means the total screen height is 100%. So we are dividing. We are saying that okay, first one should be 10%, the second one should be 80%, and the third one should be 10% again. Okay. And what are we loading into these? We are having some top frame, one main frame, and one bottom frame. This is what we have done here. You can check out this one. See here, we are having columns of 1080-10, and then we are having a left one, one center one, and one right one. Okay, In the first one, we are loading frame 1, in the second one, frame 2, in the third one, frame 3. Now, you might be thinking, what is this frame 1, frame 2, frame 3? These are actually 3 frames or 3 HTML files. This is frame 1. See, there's nothing in this except this h1 tag, right? This is frame 1. Similarly, in this frame 2, we are having this only h1 tag which says this is frame 2. And this third one is a separate file which says this is frame 3. Okay, now when we use this, here we are. See, I'm dividing into rows now, 10, 80, 10, that makes a total of 100. This is top, main, and bottom. Okay, in top we are having frame 1, in main we are having frame 2, and in the bottom we are having frame 3. Okay, so now if you see, this is the output of it. This, see, it is divided into rows. You can see we have written here rows here, right? Rows 10, 80, 10, and here we are loading frame 1. Here we are loading in the the center one frame 2, and in the third one we are loading frame 3. Okay. Similarly, this is the columns frame set, and you have it here. See, I have divided into columns. Columns 10, 80, 10. So that means the left one is 10, and the center one is 80, and the right one is again 10. Okay, and we are loading 3 frames: frame 1, frame 2, and frame 3. Okay, here frame 1, frame 2, and this is frame 3. Okay, now as I already told you that these days it's not supported, right? So what we need to do, we need to tell the browser that if it is not supported in your browser, then you need to write this browser does not support frames. Then this message will be displayed over there. But since we are using Chrome, and Chrome already supports this frame set, so these are displayed. But if suppose some browser doesn't support this, then you will get a message which says your browser does not support frames. Okay, same is the case here in this columns one. Here again we are writing this browser does not support frames. Alright, then this message will be displayed. Okay, I hope you have followed till here. And now let us discuss about a frame within a frame set. Okay, see, take a look at this. We have this top one, which could be used to display some name of a website or something. Alright, then the bottom portion, this we are again dividing into 1, 2, and this one is the third column, 3 columns. Okay, so this is a nested frame set. Alright, you can see here we have one frame set here. See this? Frame set rows is equal to this 2080. We started writing with the first frame, that is top, right? And then after that we have the second one, which we again further subdivide into 3 frames, right? The top, the main, and the bottom.